Greetings. My name is David Kane, and I'm the founder of The Battery, one of the investor advisors who works as a hands-on mentor with our startups through their Batch 14 experience. Today, we introduce you to the exciting batch of founders who've completed the Battery program, and they've emerged ready to pitch you at our 14th demo day. The Battery, for context, is an accelerator founded and led by a network of more than 35 business leaders, entrepreneurs, and venture capitalists. Twice a year, we bring together a handful of promising startups and provide online courses and roundtables, workshops, and most importantly, one-on-one mentorship for each of our founders. Today, it's our pleasure to feature those startups who've completed the Battery's 3-month virtual coaching and educational program. They've emerged ready to pitch. Each startup will be introduced by one of the investor advisors who worked with them throughout the program. I want to also give a shout out to Philo, who's hosting our program today. Here in the main room, you'll see that we have our demo day live stream, and below the stream, you can navigate to a different room for each of the startups we are featuring. These rooms are locked during our main presentation, but will open right after the pitches conclude. In each room, you will find the founding team and their pitch decks. You can get to know the founders, ask questions, and of course, book those follow-up meetings. You'll also see a link that connects to a form right below this live stream, and through that, we'll make sure you get connected to the right people. Finally, if you're curious about joining the Battery community, we're growing each year and welcome interest from anyone who wants to join the network. Thanks for coming. We hope you enjoy the program.
Hi, I'm Graham Hunter, one of the most recent additions to the Battery Investor Advisor community. And today it's my pleasure to introduce you to Ixely. Ixely directly connects an investor's brokerage accounts to market-oriented websites and communities, so the investor can make trades seamlessly without having to switch back and forth. Co-founders Keenan and Louise have made incredible progress in the development of their technology and have fantastic traction partnering with brokers already. They're also experienced entrepreneurs with multiple prior exits and years of fintech experience. Here to tell you more about how Ixely will transform self-directed investing is Louise Kortman.
I am Louise, one of the co-founders of Ixely. Ixely is a platform that connects brokerage accounts to financial content sites, investing tools, and communities, with unique embeddable tools to make retail investing simpler, easier, instant, better. We're reimagining investing so everyone can build wealth. Eric is in his mid-30s with a young family. He works full-time and invests on the side, long-term, for his family's future. He gets insights from financial content sites, follows his favourites and investing communities, and pays subscriptions for charts and research. But it's hard, time-consuming. He has all these inputs, but he's never in his brokerage app when he wants to invest. Or he researches a strategy, but has to manually apply it to his account. He has to leave the site he's on, get out his brokerage app, calculate his order, and then place his trade. 4 steps every time, 4 barriers. Often he doesn't bother and the moment's gone. But he needs to bother, because building wealth is what will secure his family's future. He needs investing to be easier, and he's not alone. A Nasdaq survey shows 81% of investors want to trade on their brokerage account from third-party tools. The problem isn't just Eric's, it's a whole industry problem. Brokerages are not connected to their customers at the exact moment they have intent to invest, and they're missing out on revenue. The sites, tools, and communities Eric uses all provide insights and actionable ideas, yet they're disconnected from the very outcomes they're seeking to enable. Investing has been made easier and more accessible to more of the population, but those improvements are incremental. They don't fundamentally rewire the ecosystem with a trade execution layer. That's what Ixely does. We needed investing to be easier personally, which is why we built Ixely. Our tools are embeddable in one line of code, directly into the sites and apps of Eric's brokerages, the content providers, investing tools, and communities he uses. We also have browser extensions he can plug into any site or app. We don't provide investment advice, but we give Eric the tools to manage his investing responsibly. He connects his brokerage account, customizes his settings in our portfolio management tool for easy pre-configured trades, and invests securely in one click. We make it easier for Eric to build his family's future. Whether he's done his research and then wants to invest in context from CNBC, or copy Warren Buffett's portfolio every month. And we offer insights on investing behaviours to all parties. We are the rails that rewire the ecosystem and activate new capabilities. Eric's better investing experience means increased trading flow and revenue for brokerages, more than they can ever achieve through their own apps and platforms alone. For the sites, tools and communities, we open up new revenue models. Eric spends longer on their apps and sites. Customer stickiness increases and customer acquisition and retention improve. Everyone wins when the ecosystem is rewired. We have patentable IP in our trade order widget and have engaged patent attorneys. We own the user profile and data and the network we build. We make transactions possible among all parties. Data is central to how every participant benefits. Each new connected brokerage account, site, tool or community adds a new data set, and each interaction between participants yields more data, creating market and data network effects. The global online trading market is forecast to grow at a CAGR of 5% to 14 billion in 2030. Retail US equity markets account for 30 billion in daily traded value. Our market in years 1 to 3 is 40 million cumulative revenue and 900,000 transacting users. We achieve that through two channels. One, incumbent US brokerages, who have customers like Eric with an average account balance of $10,000. They have the greatest incentive to innovate and compete with mobile-first players. Building these tools themselves doesn't make sense. Secondly, through early adopting content sites and investing tools who need trade execution connectivity, because their offerings are incomplete without it. Some new tools have built a few brokerage integrations, but there's a tipping point, usually 3 or 4, where it ceases to be viable to do it themselves. As B2B, we acquire end users through our partners, giving us an end user CAC of $5 in year 3. Starting with proofs of concept, then using metrics to sell, we integrate with brokerages, content sites, investing tools and communities. They market us for free to their user bases and help drive mutually beneficial partnerships with each other. More engaged investors invest more actively, the incentive cycle begins and snowballs. We connect brokerages and services built on brokerage as a service providers to the content sites, investing tools and communities used by retail investors. We are the dominant party that threads them all together. We will win with our widget that erects a barrier and enables superior monetization opportunities. And we have a better product for the investing community than open finance providers. The other new trade execution connectivity providers are aimed at developers. Our tools can be used by developers or be embedded in a few minutes by anyone. So we serve the whole market. We make money on every transaction through our platform. We drive maximum adoption in stage 1 with the simplest model. Brokerages are incentivized. They pay us per trade. We remove friction by making our platform free to sites, tools and communities and share revenue with them as an incentive. In stage 2, we add multi-brokerage, multi-source copying of trades and portfolios. End users pay a percentage fee on upside trades to us and the signal providers. We reward behaviour that helps build wealth. In stage 3, our data insights revenue stream also comes on. Investor experience is one of the keys to our success. As experienced investors ourselves, we put retail investors at the centre of everything we do. We've built successful financial services and technology businesses from the ground up to sale and have 4 exits between us. We have experience of selling to top-tier companies without a big brand and a thorough grounding of operating in a regulated industry. We're targeting expert advisors with network reach to accelerate our sales cycle and growth in fintech, security and financial markets. By the end of year 3, we project 900,000 transacting users and 27 million annual revenue with a 50% best case upside and 92% average gross margin. 2/3 comes from copy trading. Based on comparative businesses, critical mass for securing flagship partnerships is 8 brokerage integrations. We'll hit that in 3 months. We know our target partners and how we'll go fast. We're already on the way. We have a mature platform built in-house, ready to go to market, with 5 brokerage partnerships representing 15 million potential end users. We're launching with our first client in July and have more demand for proofs of concept than we can support. We've achieved that with 300,000 of personal funding and 650,000 pre-seed raised at 5 million post-money. We're raising 1.5 million, the first tranche of our seed round, on a convertible note at a valuation cap of 8 million and a 20% discount. In the 12 months runway that gives us, we'll achieve 1.2 million in revenue, 75,000 transacting users, our provisional patent and regulatory authorization. We're in discussions with a number of strategic investors, and we'd love to have you on board to be part of the future of investing and helping everyone build wealth.
Hi, everyone. My name is Gary Fleury, and today it is my pleasure to introduce you to Batch 14 startup Small Talk. Small Talk is a language platform that enables parents to introduce their children to languages as infants when they're most receptive to language acquisition. Their solution centers around software that delivers lullabies, songs, and stories recorded by mothers from around the world in their native language. They already have strong traction on their funding round and technological development. Co-founders Dean and Amy bring a successful startup experience and domain expertise from their past ventures. Please put your virtual hands together for Small Talk.
Hi, I'm Dean Cook, co-founder and CEO of Smalltalk. Now, everybody knows that language learning is easier the younger that you are. But did you know that babies are the best language learners on the planet? I co-founded Smalltalk with an expert on how infants acquire language, and together, we've created the first language learning platform for babies. Meet Arlo. Now, his parents want Arlo to learn French, but they aren't bilingual themselves. And when they look for help, all they find are products or services intended for children age 3 and older. They can't find anything for Arlo. Well, now meet Smalltalk, the first language learning app designed for babies. In our app, parents can choose from 7 different languages. Now, our exclusive content features real moms singing lullabies, songs, and stories to their own baby in their native language. We see here Erica, who's recording German lullabies while nursing her baby. This approach elicits infant-directed speech, that sing-songy, exaggerated speech pattern that babies love. Now, customers use our app in 2 different ways. Once or twice a day, parents access our Baby and Me play-based activities while listening to our content, which is structured in a lesson format. Combining our content with activity improves the engagement of the baby with the language. And for those wanting more, we offer optional hardware for what we call baby-led learning. Let's look closer at that. Now, this is a patent-pending approach. What we have here on the left is the Smalltalk Passy. This is a sensor unit that we manufacture that fits snugly into the back of a disposable pacifier. The Smalltalk app will detect the presence of the sensor and will then listen for the suck strength data that sensor is going to send 100 times a second. It will deliver 10 seconds of content when the baby sucks, and this creates a positive feedback loop proven to engage the baby. Babies will happily engage with this approach for up to 20 minutes at a time. Pacifier sensors have been in use in clinical research for decades. This is the first time it's appeared in a consumer product. Now, from a market opportunity, we have a real global opportunity. There are 26 million births annually in developed economies around the globe. 15 million of those into the middle class, people with disposable income. We're focused for the next year or so on 250,000 families in the United States, first-time parents who have an interest in technology and language learning. Our MVP product business model has a $100 lifetime value. And we calculate that based on our content. People access our content through a $12 a month subscription. And then again, the optional Smalltalk Passy at $40. Now, in the competitive landscape of language learning, many of us are familiar with Babbel and Duolingo for adults. The market as a whole is $115 billion. It's currently growing at a 25% annual rate. And what I want to point out here is that there's nobody in the 0 to 2 space. This is where Smalltalk is creating, meeting the needs of this blue ocean opportunity. For Lingumi, Little Pim, Lingo Kids, and NovaKid, combined, servicing that 3-year-old and up group, combined, they are servicing about 60 million families around the globe, demonstrating the size of the market potential that we have. Now, our revenue projections do start this year. We're going to market right now. We're forecasting about $150,000 in revenue. Next year, we see about $7 million in revenue as we expand into different markets. And we see in 5 years, $160 million in revenue with just under 1 million users. Again, compared to that 60 million users on those toddler formats, we think this is very achievable. From a traction and milestones point of view, we've done market validation and market discovery in the United States and China and found 80% product interest in our target audience. We've published a randomized controlled study, including brain data of the pacifier approach to language learning in the Journal of Pediatrics. And we have 2 patents pending protecting the idea of connecting a sensor-based device with a speaker device for the language learning application. From a go-to-market point of view, we're releasing our app first, followed by the Smalltalk PASI in Q3. We'll be expanding next year to fully occupy the 0 to 2 area with content and products, and ultimately expanding 0 to 6. We are social media only at this point. We'll be adding influencers and channel partners in Q3. We'll start a PR push in Q4 that culminates in an appearance at CES in January in Las Vegas, and then a global offering by 2024. Now, the Smalltalk team is well set up to get this job done. I'm a successful entrepreneur with multiple startup experiences, taking novel product concepts to market. This is my 4th startup as a senior executive and my 2nd as CEO. All of those have exits or significant milestones achieved. Amy, our Chief Commercial Officer, is also a successful entrepreneur in the space of marketing to millennial and Gen Z parents. She was co-founder and COO of Kome, a cooperative babysitting app that exited in 2019. She's joining me in the breakout room for any questions that you might have. Natalie Maitre is our Chief Science Consultant. We are commercializing her inventions, and she's an expert in how infants acquire language. And she runs a large research laboratory at Emory University in Atlanta. And Jessica is a skilled brand and community builder across many markets and environments. Beyond that team, we have expert consultants like Dr. Nichols in our product content. She's a linguist, natural language scientist. Diana Perjansky in product strategy. She's currently with Osmo, Fisher-Price. She consults with Baby Einstein. And Vivian Wang is an expert in influencer marketing strategy. She's currently with Anastasia Beverly Hills in the makeup industry. We are raising capital. We have a $1.25 million seed round. Roughly half of this is already circled. This provides us a runway through Q1 2023 to achieve 7,500 active users on platform. There's a very attractive terms in a convertible note, terms set by Rev1 Ventures, a pre-seed seed capital venture group based in Columbus, Ohio. Also includes management, Harvard Business School Angels of New York. With that, I look forward to your questions and meeting you in the breakout room. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Josh Langenthal, and I'm an investor advisor at The Battery, as well as one of the managing partners. I'm also one of the instructors in the Deep Dive program. Batch 14 has been fantastic to work with, and one of the companies that I have the great pleasure of working with along the way is the Village app. The Village app helps local communities and organizations support each other. Everybody from new moms to beloved elders can get the support that they need and provide support when they have it to offer. They have a great go-to-market approach. By partnering with local organizations such as churches and nonprofits, they can scale into mainstream adoption as their channels strengthen and grow. Ashley and Karen are seasoned entrepreneurs with successful exits under their belt, and there is a definite need for this product in our society. Please enjoy this presentation from the Village app.
Hello, I'm Ashley Stone, the founder of the Village app. Now, we can all agree that no matter the life stage we're in, we all need and deserve a supportive network that we can call on. Yeah, that's me. And you're probably wondering how I got there. Well, I had a surprise 3rd pregnancy that turned out to be twins. And with a husband that works out of town, a mom who was diagnosed with cancer, and a son who's being assessed for autism and ADHD, I needed a lot of hands-on help. Now, there wasn't a lack of people offering, but for me to actually accept or ask felt awkward and overwhelming. And I'm not alone. We have all been in these situations, whether it's been with an aging parent, a medical emergency, or something simpler like having too many carrots in your garden. Chaos can strike anywhere. But we live in a help yourself society and often fear reaching out to our support network due to rejection, appearing inadequate or needy. Strong social capital is our greatest asset. There are oceans of proof that positive real-life connections decrease our mental health issues, greatly improve our physical health, and extend our life expectancy. Now, sure, we all have friends, but it's one thing to know somebody, and it's another thing to show up for somebody. When people don't have these networks or feel they can't reach them, they rely on government systems and organizations to fill these gaps. And that puts an increasing pressure onto an already overloaded system that can't adequately serve everyone. Currently, there is no dedicated platform for people to build and engage with their trusted communities. And that's where the Village app comes in. The Village app allows for collective coordination to meet each other's needs. It's people helping people on the ground level. We've architected the app for safe, efficient communication without all the noise and toxicity of social media. Without a comment section or algorithm interference, the app allows for judgment-free asks and offers that get sent to curated circles without group messaging. Up until now, we've created the app with the individual in mind. We've pivoted slightly to include cause-based nonprofits and faith-based organizations to create trusted built-in communities. Now, you may want to compare us to social media, but we are the evolution. Where social media is vying for your attention, the Village app is building an intention economy, focused on tangible actions where people show up and do good. We are not in the business of surveillance capitalism to mine data to advertise to our users. Instead, we plan to use the data we generate for policy change, collective impact, and to inform the organizations that we work with where they could better serve their communities. There are a lot of indirect competitors, but there's nothing quite like the Village app, where organizations and individuals can foster community bonding with a focus on in real life connections using a fine-grained communication style that allows for the user to be in control. Our team has put in a lot of time and research into determining our target market and our path to revenue. There were multiple options, but ultimately through customer interviews and desktop research, we've determined that nonprofit organizations and faith-based communities are a vehicle to capital-efficient rapid growth, also known as an atomic network. We know that they are actively seeking a solution to engage and mobilize a younger demographic, as 75% of their donations come from those over the age of 50. Our initial serviceable obtainable market is a medium-sized organizations, and given our own location and connections, we'll be looking at the West Coast of North America. Our TAM reflects these nonprofit and faith-based organizations, but in reality, given the versatility of the platform, and when we expand to for-profit companies and individuals, the TAM is well into the tens of billions of dollars. We have a multi-tier subscription model where organizations pay, but it's free for the members to use. Organizations will get their own branded communities within the larger village. But this is not a white label solution, but rather like a town center where multiple communities coexist independently. We are working towards MVP for organizations to pilot in the fall. Recently, the nonprofit community has welcomed us with open arms, and they have a deep appetite for the Village app. We have 2 formal letters of intent and several more in the works. In 2024, we will incorporate local businesses and expand beyond the initial key regions. By 2025, we will bring focus on individual users with a premium version, which includes a skill-based marketplace and potential incentives through gamification. We project that our costs after 3 years will begin to stabilize while our revenue greatly increases, but it doesn't stop there. We have plans to include AI for needs matching, are looking at how we can build trust services on the blockchain and how we can remain relevant in an augmented reality. We launched locally for individuals in August 2021 and saw our first 1,000 users by December. We took a step back in January to reassess our revenue model and business plan. We currently have over 1,500 downloads, 475 requests and offers sent, and a $2 customer acquisition cost. We've been bootstrapped up until now and have deployed $275,000, with almost half of that being government tax credits. We know that this is a big idea, but we believe that we can do for the intention economy what Uber has done for the ride-sharing industry. These are some of our Village people. I'm a public health nurse and have been for 13 years. I have seen firsthand the lack of support for people and organizations in my community. I know this problem to my core, and I have seen the light on the other side, and I want others to experience the power of community. My co-founder, Karen Olson, has over 25 years experience in growing startups. She helped grow a company called Two Hat Security, which specializes in AI content moderation for online safety. She believes that content moderation is downstream thinking and that we can build better, safer technologies from the ground up. Two Hat was acquired by Microsoft for over $100 million last fall. We also have an incredibly supportive collective at The Battery. Their team of investor advisors has been instrumental to get us to think bigger. Each team member has their own expertise, experience, and vast networks. And now you can be part of this evolution. We're in a seed round of $650,000 on a safe with a $6 million cap. But wait, there's more. Act now, and we'll give you a 25% discount on the first $150,000 invested. That $150,000 will get us to organization MVP and revenue generation, while the remaining $500,000 will see us through market expansion and profitability in 2025. This is your one chance to get in early on the ground level. So to sum it all up, we're building an intention economy where people give what they can and get what they need. We're using community organizations as our vehicle for capital efficient growth. We strongly believe that everyone deserves to have a village to fall back on, and that creating a profitable business and doing good can go hand in hand.
Greetings all. My name is Akash Jain, and today I'm introducing a startup that I've enjoyed working with through Batch 14, Declay. Declay is an app that lowers the barrier of entry for artists and art collectors by bridging the gap between digital and physical art via a marketplace that includes NFTs, canvas prints, and crypto. Declay's founder, King Hobson, understands this problem particularly well through his experience as a fine artist and a savvy entrepreneur. Declay has already made great progress and has an initial community that is enthusiastic about the product. Here to tell you more about how they plan to grow their traction into the next great art marketplace is King. Thank you.
Greetings and welcome. Thank you for joining us today for our second shareholder presentation of 2022. My name is King Hobson, vision creator, award-winning artist, serial entrepreneur, founder, and CEO of Declay. Today, you will learn how to properly evaluate your artwork for a profit. We've been working with persistence to lower the barrier of entry into the NFT and art market with an unwavering mission to provide more opportunities, simplify the process, and bridge the gap between digital and physical assets. So without further ado, let's get to it. Introducing our first mobile app home for the next generation of artists, Declay. Backed by its own cryptocurrency, Daycoin, Declay is an entire ecosystem of emerging creators and prominent collectors. So how did we get here? I began this journey as a traditional artist using paint on canvas. Then I become a digital artist and use Gclays, which allowed me to print any image of my artwork onto canvas textured fabric to create a canvas print. From there, I launched an art distribution company giving all artists this same ability. We then launched certificates of authenticity, which acts as an ID to the artwork, identifying owner, creator, dates it was created and sold, and its value. We've replaced the letter G from Gclay with a D, and we land at Declay. So why Declay? What are we solving here? Well, as a traditional artist, I sold my originals, but after discovering Gclay canvas prints, I immediately regret it. I reached out to my collectors and I offered to pay double the original price. They declined my offer and maintained ownership of my originals. I also did not include a certificate of authenticity proving ownership and value for the consumer, nor did I tie in a smart contract granting me royalties for when they decide to resell. So there must be a solution, and that's where Declay comes in. Declay is the Wall Street of creation, where art is the stock. We provide an all-in-one art distribution platform, automated appreciation rates, where Declay allows you to track the value of your artwork as it ages. Leading us to our next why. Why is Declay backed by its own blockchain? Well, number one, Daychain minimizes transaction fees and allows smart contracts for royalties and appreciation value. Number two, Daycoin minimizes friction for international payments and processing. Currently operating in 6 countries, we have artists in Egypt, Nigeria, but I'd like to introduce you to Daria. She's been working for us for 2 years, all the way from Russia. And within that time, she's done great to herself thanks to the US dollar. But what happens when Russia strikes Ukraine? This sanctions the US dollar worthless. So are we building a platform just for US based artists? No, we are not. And as you can notice from our traction, we currently have 200 plus paying customers. We're cash flow positive, building in a global art industry with a market size of 130 billion. And with 30 billion in our serviceable area of expertise, we've created an elaborate 5-year roadmap to capture 10% of this market at 3 billion. So how does it work? Creators upload their cover image along with their content, set their resale value, and consumers purchase limited canvas prints and NFTs with the QR code leading to the art certificate of authenticity. We have competitors in almost every sector of the market, with each neglecting the needs of the creators and the collectors. But Declay, being a platform created by an artist who struggled with monetization, we provide every way imaginable for creators and collectors to earn globally, all in one solution. And we're monopolizing this market using simplification of our blockchain, currency, wallet, affordability, and most importantly, no other art company has our automation business model. Automating appreciation rates and tax benefits, Declay lets you buy, track, trade, and sell any art you want, anywhere you are, in a digital and physical form. All for a small fee, of course. We earn money a few different ways. 2.5% of all blockchain transactions, a manufacturing and distribution fee, a platform fee allowing users to have monthly subscribers to their art clubs, and last but not least, a liquidity pool holding a third of our own coins. And being that we're already selling certificates of authenticity, and that's what an NFT is, our first attack to the market will be converting our current users. And we target these users directly via referral strategies, strategic partnerships with wedding planners, art galleries, and art departments of schools. We'll also host Declay Fest, which is a local art show, and provide 500 day coins to buyers of our initial NFT drop. And we began business January 2020 as Da Vinci Studios. We then bootstrapped our way to Declay, launching our MVP June 2021. We're on track to launch our NFT marketplace September this year and our blockchain immediately following a few months afterwards. Now we're raising a seed of 500K in the form of a safe with a $5 million cap table, with the purpose of expediting our growth within the next 12 to 18 months, with an outcome of achieving a milestone of 15,000 transactions, which would net us 1.3 million in profit at 45% profit margins. Now, this process requires over a quarter going into our product and development, and the remaining broken down into our operations, marketing, business, and development costs. From there, we'll raise a price round Series A of 10 million at a $55 million valuation. Now, this team you're looking at is the Chicago Bulls 96-97, and I'm Michael Jordan. Scholastic gold medalist, my specialty is in sales. Now, Muhan Song successfully built a company, made an exit, and achieved his master's in science and project management. And last but not least, we have John Bardis, our full stack tech developer who has his own Web3 company. We've been selected to participate in the Battery, which is a Silicon Valley incubator. And here we have some of our IAs who's helped us grow even further. Larry Rowe, professor of computer science, Salim Sadiq, blockchain scalable solutions, and Andre Carruthers, leadership development. And in the fight of giving the leverage back to the artists, this is just the beginning. And as always, it's a pleasure. Thank you for choosing us at Declay, home for the next generation of artists. Kindly scan our QR code for more info. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I'm Eos Fache, a longtime Battery investor advisor. Today, I'd like to introduce you to Flickonic. Social engagements around your favorite movies and TV shows are not a natural fit for existing social media platforms. Flickonic addresses this considerable market opportunity with an engaging and easy-to-use platform that aims to become the social home for streamed entertainment viewers. I've had the opportunity to work with founders Vasant Shumar and Noman Batsaikan and have been very impressed with their ability to translate a vision into a product and to learn about viewer behavior through smart experimentation. This is a very talented, passionate, and determined leadership team, and the initial traction is promising. Without further ado, let's learn more about the Fliconic story from Wassam.
Hey, I'm Wassam, co-founder and CEO of Fliconic, where we believe shows were made for way more than just watching. I'd like to take you back in time before the era of streaming and have you meet Cameron. You see, Cameron used to host watch parties, and in 2004, she gathered with her friends along with 53 million other viewers to watch the Friends finale. The next day, everybody was talking about Ross and Rachel's reunion at the water cooler. Today, we find Cameron binging Better Call Saul, all alone in her free time, because none of her friends are currently watching it. Despite the popularity of the show, she's also struggling to find active conversations to join online, because they're all segmented and she can't find one core community to join. I experienced this problem, especially when watching the latest season of Game of Thrones. Despite millions watching, I still missed out on the conversations, even when I was watching it a couple of hours after it had trended. This is due to the rise of streaming services, making our shows so much more accessible and us watching entertainment asynchronously. However, our desire for social engagement around shows still remain, with 54% of us deciding what to watch based on social media just to be part of a collective experience, and 71% of us looking up content related to what we're watching through a second screen. And finally, over 80% of us wanting to still stay connected even after watching a show. Therefore, we wanted to create a platform which answered the question, where do you go to discuss a show? As today's generation doesn't have a water cooler moment. With the Fliconic app, we're creating that place you immediately think of. We're creating social experiences and making them just as accessible as the shows themselves. How did we do this? On Fliconic, each show has only one dedicated space. That means all you have to do to start engaging with others is by simply choosing what shows and actors you like, and you're all set. Each feature we provide has been carefully selected and designed in a way that captures the essence of what it was like watching a show with someone else in the room with you, just like back in the day. Fliconic is a one-stop shop for all things entertainment. That's right. Viewers can now tap into communities without having to depend on algorithms, hashtags, their network, or even a trending moment. On Fliconic, users get the social engagement they desire, not the toxic one. Our app also has great benefits for show creators, whereby they have access to fan communities, direct feedback loops, and data insights across various streaming services. We've created a way for them to have a two-way conversation with their consumers, as well as extend the shelf life of their entertainment properties. The social media market we're entering is already huge, consisting of 4.5 billion users and generating a revenue of $400 billion with a compound annual growth rate of 25%. For our TAM, we're focusing on the global Gen Z and millennial streaming service subscribers, which are 378 million people. For our SAM, we narrow onto the US market. For the next 3 years, we plan to acquire those who utilize social media apps to talk about their shows, making our SOM worth $13.5 million. For starters, we plan to target 10 show communities through different show and market trends. For instance, we created landing pages and show-themed Wordles and shared it with fans across different existing social media apps. We've also tried to be more creative with it and place Squid Game cards all across the city with a QR code at the back that directed them to our app. From there, we can scale those communities in two ways: through influencer marketing, which we've already trialed and seen great conversion rate, or in a form of a collaboration with the streaming services, as we know their viewership can benefit from an app like ours, seeing that social media apps increases viewership and show ratings by 29%. We have multiple potential revenue streams where we initially plan on rolling out targeted ads. As Fliconic allows for communities of loyal, dedicated fan bases to form, we plan on allowing users to monetize from their community through a tipping system, similar to TikTok and YouTube. Lastly, we can monetize our data. As our app's features provide us with a holistic overview of viewers' behavior and engagement across different shows, we can provide key data insights to show creators as well as streaming services similar to other entertainment apps. We're currently also speaking with those from the industry to better understand how we can provide further value. In today's world of streaming, our conversations around shows have migrated to existing social media apps. However, each platform serves a different purpose, and therefore the conversations differ, causing vast community fragmentation. Entertainment apps, on the other hand, focus on more individual-based engagement, such as tracking. Therefore, Flaconic takes the best out of existing apps to become the social hub for streamed entertainment. Noman and I met while studying computer science at King's College University, while Marcus and I met at Stanford University. We have built platforms that are used by millions, from consumer apps to working with big data. Marcus has also co-founded his own successful SaaS company. So given our backgrounds, we've obviously built Flaconic ourselves. We're also looking for individuals who have previously worked in the entertainment industry or have experience in building communities to join our advisory board. We had our iOS beta launched last year and have over 2,000 users with a retention rate of 51% and a daily active user engagement of 25 minutes. We expect to hit profitability in 3 years. Our CAC is estimated to decrease, while the lifetime value of a user is expected to increase in correlation. Finally, we're here to make you an offer you simply cannot refuse. We're looking to raise $150,000 in SAFE at a $5 million valuation cap to continue gathering people around the water cooler in the age of streaming for the next 12 months to achieve the displayed milestones. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Linda Myers, one of the Battery's managing partners and IAs. It is my pleasure today to introduce Proven PCI as our next startup. Proven PCI provides merchants with peace of mind through their automated solution. Under current regulations, all merchants either processing or storing credit card transaction data need to meet PCI compliance standards. Unfortunately, most are out of compliance as they try to navigate a complex web of security vendors. Proven PCI is set to change that with their end-to-end compliance solution. The team, led by founder Christopher Boulin, has the experience and industry connections to bring this needed solution to market and cure the headaches of thousands of merchants who struggle with this issue. Here to tell you how they do it is Christopher.
Hello, my name is Christopher Boulin, and I'm the CEO and founder of Proven PCI. Before we get into things, let me define what PCI stands for. PCI stands for Payment Card Industry Data Security Standards. It was created by the 5 major card brands and is in place for all businesses that store, process, and transmit cardholder data to meet. And so kind of how I got into this more or less is I was an agent in the field, and I worked with small, medium businesses to help them become PCI compliant, which they're agreeing to when they sign up for merchant services. However, in order to get compliant, they need between 7 to 10 vendors, and it would spend upwards of $5,000 per year on enterprise solutions to meet these requirements. On top of that, they had to figure out if these partners or these vendors were compliant themselves. Now, if they failed to meet compliance, they run the risk of fines and penalties of upwards of $150,000, and 60% of businesses that fail to meet compliance requirements or suffer a breach go out of business within 6 months. Now, starting from the top and going clockwise, businesses have to have patching, firewall configurations, security policies, internal and external scanning, security configurations, password management, security awareness training, and antivirus. Now, PCI has been around for 15 years, yet by 2025, it's expected to reach $44 billion. 80% of businesses are still not PCI compliant. What does that mean? Well, that's 42 million businesses globally are not PCI compliant of 250 employees or less. Now, what does that mean in small terms? Well, think of this. If you go and shop at a local business and you shop at 10 local businesses throughout the week, 8 out of 10 of them are not protecting the card data environment that your credit card is traveling through. Until now, introducing PCI in a box. Again, all the same cybersecurity tools that we showed earlier, all packaged in one nice little box. We have patching, firewall, policies, scanning, security configurations, password management, security awareness training, and antivirus. And this is also mapped back to the questionnaire to offer proof of compliance and validate it. What would typically take 6 to 9 months to get compliant, we can do under 30 minutes. Our total addressable market, as stated earlier, is $44 billion. Now, 15 million small businesses are with traditional processors such as TSYS, First Data, Elevon. We're looking to capture 5% of the market, which is the equivalent of 2.7 million merchants and $650 million annually. We have 3 partners in place currently with letters of intent equaling 400 accounts upon completion of our solution, which will generate $8,000 in monthly recurring revenue. We have 2 subscription models set up, one for the agent in the field, kind of like what I was, to help them and ease their pain in regards to helping their merchants get compliant. And then we also have an independent sales organization or a merchant service provider program. We would be their vendor. We would replace their current solution, which is just, quite honestly, giving a full sense of security with the current solution. The average processor has 2,000 merchants on their books. So as you can see, it's tiered and scaled based on the volume that they have. Who's our target market? TSYS, First Data are some of the processors like I mentioned earlier. Bank of America is also an independent sales organization and offers processing themselves along with Wells Fargo. Value proposition, man, it's really simple. We shorten the time frame to get compliant from 6 to 9 months down to 30 minutes. We're affordable. We come in at a price that is a fraction of the competition. And we replace 7 to 10 different vendors. How are we going to achieve this? Well, mostly through our channel partners. Cross-promoting, co-branding, just re-education in regards to marketing, and then agent sales, and just helping them make more money. And the more money they make, the more they'll talk about us, and so forth. And then we have a direct-to-merchant approach through our website. Results for business growth. That's a 1.5 million merchants, 24 million in monthly recurring revenue, and 2.8. That's only capturing 2.83% of the marketplace. Competitive analysis, where you come in at TrustWave, ControlScan, and Security Metrics. We offer continuous compliance, unlike them, real-time validation, and unlike our competition, there's no need for additional hardware or third-party services. It's easy to use, and we're looking at multiple integrations with other small business tools. Our closest competitor, ControlScan, comes in at $90 a month, twice as much as what we do. 5-year projection, our targeted revenue is 40% of what the stretch goal is. So by the end of our first year, we're looking at $3 million in annual revenue, which is $250 million in monthly recurring revenue. That's the equivalent of 30,000 merchants. We're averaging 80% margins, and we're looking for an acquisition in the 3 to 5 years, either by one of our competitors or by even a credit card processor themselves. Where we've been, well, and where we're going. Well, we're in the midst of addressing or acquiring initial paid beta users. By the end of first quarter, we're going to go for our formal launch. And by the end of next year, we're looking for a Series A, 10 million or more. Now, I have the perfect team. I have assembled the perfect team over the past 3 years. Myself, visionary, I've been behind the entire idea of this project and our solution for small businesses. I have 20 years in the payments industry, 10 years of strategic partnerships. I do have one acquisition. George Cornell is from legal, 40 years of legal experience, 30 years in franchise experience. He's had 3 exits, one of them including Fantastic Sam's. Carlos Montero, customer acquisition. He's held multiple leadership roles in the payments industry and is great at building partnerships and developing client relationships. Preston Neal is Chief Software Architect, Product Manager. He's actually developed applications and led applications for the U.S. Navy and the U.S. Marines. 75% of my team is veterans. Going into our experts, the ones that we look to for advice. Jeff Mann, Qualified Security Assessor. He's done PCI compliance for companies like AT&T and Capital One. Sarah Gukis led the project of Clover Point of Sale for Bank of America Merchant Services. Nadia Chaudhry has actually worked for one of the card brands. And Nick Frederick is software development and subscription management. We're asking for $600,000 as our safe round to acquire 30,000 merchants to generate revenue of $250,000 monthly recurring revenue. We're at a $5 million valuation cap with a 20% discount. So come join us as we create a win-win-win situation, a win for the merchant, a win for the processors, and a win for you, the investors. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mero Mendo, the Battery Sales and Marketing Coordinator. We're about halfway done with our pitches for today. As a reminder, if you'd like to express interest in any of our companies who are pitching today, we have an interest form linked directly below this live stream. We'll also be opening up our company's Philo rooms immediately following the pitch program, where you can find links to all of their materials, as well as dedicated Zoom rooms so you can chat with each of the founders directly. Thank you and enjoy the remainder of the program.
Hi, I'm Dave Nagel, one of the investor advisors here at the Battery, and it's my pleasure to introduce you to Stephanie Thomas, founder and CEO of Curatable. As you'll see, Stephanie is a brand unto herself and has established herself as a leading expert and advocate into the fashion industry in how to design stylish clothes that are far more accessible for people living with disabilities. Curatable grew out of Stephanie's desire to take things to the next level, building a real community and providing online tools that would transform the fashion industry from one about exclusivity into one focused on becoming more inclusive, while at the same time tapping in to a population that has been largely ignored. Think about simple things that make clothes and accessories inaccessible for people with disabilities. Things like buttons, shoelaces, or zippers on the back of a dress. By bringing the disabled and design communities together in the Curatable ecosystem and providing them with the tools to guide design for accessibility, Stephanie hopes to transform the entire industry. So here's Stephanie to tell you more about Curatable.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Thomas. I am the founder and CEO of Curatable, where we simplify shopping and de-stress dressing for people with disabilities. We don't purchase any paid advertising, but we do have earned media, and we've been featured in over 30 publications, including the publications you see at the bottom of this slide. The Business of Fashion honored me as one of the BOF 500s moving the global fashion industry forward, and Curatable this year has been honored by the Valuable 500 as one of 77 countries. I say countries because I'm thinking of how many countries this spans. Wait till you hear this. One of 77 companies spanning 6 continents and 19 countries to be a part of their inclusive kind of consulting team. So when the Valuable 500 Fortune 500 companies want to come to them to get authentic consultation, they can come to us. But I've said too much. Let's take you back to the beginning of where Curatable started. Curatable's story is inevitably my story.
Welcome back. Now we're going to introduce you to a fashion stylist and disability advocate who's shaking up the industry to celebrate clothes for everyone.
What started out for me as a community service project has really become my life's work.
Born a congenital amputee, Stephanie was a former Chicago Bulls cheerleader competing in the Miss America pageant system when she found herself investigating disability-friendly fashion.
What are some of the barriers when it comes to clothing for people with disabilities?
They want to wear the clothes everyone else wears. They want to wear the designers they know and love. They just want to be able to do it with as much dignity and independence as possible. And I just decided I need to do something. I need to create something myself that can help people.
That's when she developed her disability styling system.
It just became more of a journey of helping people, speaking to people, styling people. I was styling before I even knew what styling was. I wanted to know what people's experiences were. I knew my experiences. I knew the shame I felt when I went to, try on shoes in public and people would look at me like there was something wrong with me. And so I wanted to make sure that no one else felt that way.
And that's how Curatable was born. It was born out of the desire to eradicate negative perceptions of people with disabilities. And that brings us to the problem. The problem is that the fashion industry overlooks the disability community. As a matter of fact, if a pet parent went in to purchase clothing for their pets, they would have more options designed specifically for their body types than people with disabilities. But their oversight is our opportunity. As a matter of fact, take a look at this population size. With people with disabilities in our family and friends, that's a $13 trillion potential market, disposable income only. As a matter of fact, the market is expected to grow starting in 2023. The US market for adaptive fashion, what is it? $54.8 billion and over $392 billion by 2026, which is a sweet spot for when we're releasing this new product called Included. But before we get to the product, let's look at our people, because in the disability community, we say at Curatable, we're not new to this. We're true to this, because nothing for us without us. Every single consultant we have lives with a disability, some born with a disability, acquired disability, but we make a really great team because we are the community that we serve. We also have a 25-year fashion industry veteran working with us. Her name is Allison Hunter. Now, let me tell you about how we're going to address this opportunity, we'll call it, that the fashion industry is giving Curatable. We're going to address it with a business model that includes 3 phases: a report, advertising, and a SaaS model. We have a new product called Included to help people with disabilities become included in the fashion industry. And this report will allow us to basically take my brain and pour it into software. So people with disabilities will take a quiz, we'll get that information, we'll spit out a report. It is amazing because we're tackling 1 million people. That's right, 1 million reports. The second phase is advertising on Curatable.com. We'll have brand partners. So when people with disabilities get these reports, they can shop their favorite brands. And then there's the SaaS model, where we take that 1 million report goal that we had and all that data science and pour it into the SaaS model so the industry can truly become included. If you know anything about SaaS models now, what do they want people with disabilities to do? They want everyone to stand like this and have something scan them, where everyone doesn't have arms, hands, feet, and everyone does not stand, right? Our launch date, go to market, it is on Veterans Day, because my mom worked for the Veterans Administration for 37 years and my stepdad was a veteran. And we have already started reaching out to countless, relationships that we've had, at least for me, over the last 30 years. And we've started reaching out to associations. We're going to tap into social media. We are looking at every avenue we can to rally people around the idea of reaching this 1 million style report for people to start to be able to dress with more dignity and independence. And unique opportunities that we have will help us reach these goals. This spike right here is this 1 million mark that we talked about. And this 1 million mark, each of the reports will cost $49.99. And so this is where we find ourselves. And this is the SaaS model. So the SaaS model will actually, be quite expensive, especially for a brand that's going to get access to 1 million body types. And this right here is steady income from advertising. So we have a convertible safe note as a vehicle for fundraising. Evaluation of the company is at $5 million. We're asking for a $500,000 raise with a 20% discount. We're going to give you access to an emerging market, help you earn money and shift culture, and become a part of the Curatable community. Our model here, Shahali, has been modeling for 20 years? She was one of the first models with a disability with Nordstrom. And so it's time. This is the time to make a difference. We look forward to hearing from you and partnering with you to help us make fashion more inclusive.
Hello, everyone. For those of you I've not yet met, I'm Chakra Mandava, one of Battery's newest IAs. It's my absolute pleasure to introduce our Batch 14 startup, Vet News. Vet News is a journalism technology company. Goal for Vet News is to increase news creators' transparency, trust, and engagement with its readers. It does so through a platform that invites readers directly to find and report inaccuracies and errors in the articles. Co-founders Paul and Peter bring years of combined digital strategy and journalism experience. They deeply understand the issues of today's shifting media landscape. Please join me in welcoming Vet News to the virtual stage.
Do you know that 3/4 of Americans don't trust the news? At Vet News, we believe the future of publishing online involves reining in the explosion of information quantity by reestablishing the dominance of information quality. I'm Paul Glatter, one of the founders of Vet News. Vet is a Swedish word that means savvy. Our news tech company aims to make citizens more savvy about what they read and to create financial rewards for publishers that respect their readers. To do that, we create software as a service tools that bolster the infrastructure for digital trust while improving the bottom line for publishers. The problem we're solving is that public trust in news media, similar to trust in other institutions, is at a historic low. Pew Research found 68% of Americans say they lack confidence in news organizations' willingness to admit when they made a mistake. And fewer than 17% of digital news and information publishers had a public corrections policy, according to a Trust Metrics study of 7,000 publishers. Those that do find managing corrections and reader feedback to be cumbersome and costly. I spent 10 years at the Wall Street Journal before switching into academia as a journalism professor. When I was a reporter, if I made a mistake citing a fact about your company, you might call or email me or my editor, and those requests sometimes get lost, or they bounce around a newsroom and eat up valuable time for way too many staff members. Most news publishers, until now, didn't have a central place to receive, track, and respond to this kind of feedback. And frankly, the experience didn't feel good for the reader or the journalist. It's a missed opportunity to improve the accuracy of the news report and to thank, reward, and engage the reader, the paying customer, for helping in that process. So we built a better way for publishers to improve their credibility with the public. Our CX tool is a subscription SaaS product that enables newsrooms to collect the data in a format they need and to involve their readers in that process. We take the high standards of the print journalism era and enable quality reader feedback to function even better in the digital era. Our CX system boosts revenue, engages audience, streamlines workflow, and protects your employees. Our team installs a small block of code, the length of a tweet, into a publisher's CMS platform. The code surfaces a button at the bottom of every article and invites reader feedback and correction requests. When you fill out a request, the data is structured in a way that newsrooms need it. The requests then move to the CX dashboard, where workflow automation features enable an editor to more easily manage reader feedback at scale. A strength of our product is its compatibility. We've installed the CX system across a range of software and CMS providers. Its lightweight functionality doesn't harm page load times. Our product is poised to gain more traction in the digital news segment, where more than 4,000 newspapers publish daily or weekly. We can also sell to magazines, trade publications, corporate blogs, and others. Publishers pay a subscription fee to use the Vet News CX system based on their site traffic. In the future, Vet News could expand its offerings to include badging, training, or ombuds services to digital publishers. We've forged valuable sales, licensing, and marketing partnerships with leading industry associations, which opens doors to a new affiliate marketing program that we believe will drive user growth and sales to thousands of digital publishers. We've been winning increased thought leadership in the industry as we work to change the mindsets and norms in the online news and publishing sector. As we expand sales and marketing, we expect to dramatically increase users, including paid users, which will grow our annual subscription revenue. Our cost structure and customer acquisition costs are low. Our retention rate and customer lifetime values are high. We believe this will make for high annual recurring revenue and strong profitability. While some may think the news tech sector is small, we're seeing large players such as Apple, Google, and Facebook getting into quality news aggregation. We see Twitter's thinking of introducing an edit feature to allow people to correct tweets. At least one of our peers, OpenWeb, raised $100 million in the last year and is valued as a unicorn. The reason for all this is that quality news is a basic human function and need. Our team is led by journalists, academics, and technologists who've worked for the Wall Street Journal, abcnews.com, and Forbes.com, among others. They've attended and taught at organizations such as Columbia University. Our advisors include media lawyers, insurance experts, and seasoned entrepreneurs. We built our tool with a $75,000 grant from Knight Foundation in 2020, and we tested it with a dozen newsroom partners. Since then, we've gained traction with more than 25 newsrooms now using our VetNews CX system. Our button is on the bottom of 2 million articles online, more than double the number a year ago. Our clients have received more than 1,500 pieces of reader feedback and fixed hundreds of errors to articles as a result of the CX system. And so far, we've retained 100% of our clients. One of our newest clients is Newsreel Asia, a video journalism startup based in India. We are enabling young journalists like Maria to better manage their growing audience and to embody quality, ethical journalism. To continue our growth, we are raising $500,000 using Safe Notes this year. This will enable us to make robust product upgrades such as single-click installation and WordPress and custom cloud analytics that our clients want. Our product and sales strategy will allow us to achieve user growth and revenue milestones through 2024. So if you want to live in a world where quality information dominates over the quantity of information, invest in VetNews. If you want to live in a world where people are more media literate, invest in VetNews. If you want to live in a world where responsible publishers are flourishing financially and enjoying loyal audiences, invest in VetNews. And if you want to experience a solid financial return on your capital while doing good, invest in VetNews. Together, we will create and monetize the new infrastructure for digital trust in news.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jeff Wallace, and I'm one of the IAs here at the Battery, and I've had the pleasure of working with Batch 14 company, Finding Spaces. Finding Spaces has been created to make buying and selling real estate easy and more lucrative for sellers by creating an end-to-end marketplace for do-it-yourself real estate transactions. Founders Nick Massey and Michael Dudgeon have already made great progress building out their MVP, and they have a plan to bring their product to market, allowing them to serve the millions of sellers seeking to sell their own homes. It's a big idea, and I'm excited for them to share it with you. Please welcome Finding Spaces.
Hey guys, my name's Michael. I'm co-founder and CEO of Finding Spaces, and we're building a real estate transaction platform built for homeowners. The first step most people do when they're ready to sell a home is hire a real estate agent. Real estate agents represent sellers and provide hands-on service to help sellers sell their home. Agents also help sellers price their home, manage buyers, and handle paperwork. But real estate agents are extremely expensive. They charge on average 5.6% of the sales price of a home. Sellers can save tens of thousands of dollars by selling a home themselves. In fact, many home sellers try to sell their own home. According to Zillow, more than 1/3 of all sellers attempt to sell their home without using a real estate agent or listing on the MLS. However, only a small fraction of these sellers are actually successful. First-time home sellers usually underestimate all the steps that are involved in the home selling process. The homeowner is now basically their own real estate agent. So they're now responsible for managing the entire selling process, which can be overwhelming and time-consuming for an inexperienced home seller. The Finding Spaces platform makes selling a home yourself extremely easy. We give sellers direct access to the same tools and resources that real estate agents use. Sellers get a custom dashboard they can use to manage buyers and purchase services needed to sell a home. We'll use artificial intelligence and machine learning to keep sellers on track throughout the selling process. For example, if your home's been on the market for a month, we may advise you to get professional photography or give you tips on how to update certain home features. Home sellers are also able to market their properties wherever they want, such as Zillow, because we give them a link and a QR code for their listing page where buyers can go to schedule showings, chat with the seller, and make direct offers on the property. Many times, home sellers are left to put their personal number or email address on listing websites. Not only does that expose sellers to a lot of spam, but texting and emailing multiple buyers can get out of control fast. But now, by using a link or QR code, buyers get the ability to communicate directly with the seller via the platform. This will help sellers manage multiple buyers and properties at one time. Real estate business models typically make money by charging one large commission for all of their services. We are flipping the real estate model to make money only on the services that you need. We'll charge a small transaction fee when using our convenient service providers provided on the platform. The initial service that buyers and sellers will be able to utilize on the platform is a simple e-closing solution for easy online real estate transactions. However, down the road, we plan to make money on many services such as professional photography, home inspections, home appraisals, staging services, and much more. What makes us truly unique is that, unlike for sale by owner websites like forsalebyowner.com and Houseo, our platform polishes sellers and holds their hands throughout the entire selling process. Sellers no longer have to worry about buying a for sale by owner kit or ordering generic documentation. We provide a one-stop shop for all the things you need on an as-needed basis. And lastly, but most importantly, we're completely commitment-free. So sellers on the fence about selling their homes, they can try us first. If your home doesn't sell, or if the process becomes too much to handle, you can always back out and hire a real estate agent down the road. We are launching an alpha product and will begin testing this July. We will target experienced sellers that list off-market properties within Arizona and Florida. These sellers include iBuyers, wholesalers, and property flippers. The value proposition for these sellers is that we give them the ability to spend less time worrying about selling homes and more time looking for deals and fixing up properties. We already have a waiting list of early adopters ready to begin testing this summer, and we will continue to reach our target market by utilizing social media platforms like LinkedIn and Facebook. And we'll also begin presenting our solution at real estate investment conferences in Arizona and Florida. The real estate market is no doubt one of the largest markets in the world. Our smallest attainable market includes experienced home sellers that sell off-market homes within Arizona and Florida, which represents about 11% of all home sellers in the area. Our SAM includes the 36% of sellers in the US who attempt to sell their homes without a real estate agent. And our TAM includes all home sellers in the world. It seems odd to a lot of people in the US, but the majority of the world does not use real estate agents to sell their homes. Year one, we plan to grow our platform users at an 85% month-over-month growth rate. This will put us at about 1,900 users at the end of year one. A core assumption that is important to note is we're only assuming 10% of our total homes listed are utilizing our title service provider on the platform. And only title services have been included in these calculations. So as we add more services, these projections increase significantly. By year 5, we plan to capture roughly 38% of our SAM in the US, which will put us well over $100 million in revenue. We're asking for $800K to fund our project. This will give us a 12-month runway and help us begin developing our API that we need for our e-closing solution. We will also use these funds for our marketing campaign, pay for legal fees, and add a couple of engineers to the team. The remainder of the year, we'll spend developing our API for title closings on the platform and continue polishing features for the seller's dashboard. We're planning a public launch January 2023. Nick and I have been friends since elementary school. We began developing Finding Spaces about 3 years ago with the premise of making real estate transactions easier for homeowners. Together, we've built and scaled a prop tech company to 6-figure revenue and have a combined 16 years of business experience. Thank you guys for listening to our pitch, and I'll leave it at that.
Hi, it's Dave again, and this time I'm here to introduce you to Amy Harry, who is the CEO and co-founder of Ninetech. Ninetech is an adaptive learning platform built on AI for preschool-aged kids, but it's much more than that. Amy's on a mission to transform pre-K for kids growing up in poverty. When you compare kids that grow up in poverty to those that grow up with affluence, by the time they reach adolescence, their vocabulary is millions of words smaller, putting them in a disadvantage that most kids would never be able to overcome. But what makes Ninetech really unique is its business model. It's two-sided. One side is a nonprofit that leverages organizations like the Gates Foundation and NGOs to provide access to devices and web services. The other side is a for-profit business selling services to preschools for kids with means and to their parents who want to give their kids every advantage in their early education and want to buy from a company that's doing good in the world. So to tell you more, here's Amy of Ninetech.
Hi, I'm Amy Harry, co-founder and CEO of Ninetech. Join us as we unlock the genius within every child, because in our world today, there are over 258 million children and youths that are out of school. And according to UNESCO, out of that number, 59 million are preschoolers. Furthermore, research has shown that by age 3, a rich child has heard approximately 30 million more words than a poor child, simply because children mirror their environments and caregivers. So it is safe to say that poverty is the root cause of inadequate academic preparedness. It is also humanly impossible for any educator to suit the unique learning needs of every child in their classroom. At Ninetech, we believe that these are problems worth solving, which is why we are developing ECHO, meaning education in the Yoruba Nigerian language. ECHO is a gamified cloud-based adaptive learning platform, APL for short, that uses a hybrid Montessori curriculum where lessons are animated cartoons and test and practice are dynamic games. ECHO's unique value proposition to parents and educators is that it identifies the unique learning needs of the child and customizes the learning content to suit those identified needs. It also cultivates intelligence by identifying and focusing on areas of difficulties for the child while providing progress updates to the parents and educators. We've identified ECHO's competitors, who all have educational apps for kids, with our top competitors being ABC Mouse and Leapfrog, which, while they both have structured curriculums, they don't offer adaptive learning even at their price point of $12.99. And as such, ECHO's pricing model has been set to make it highly competitive, be it through our nonprofit channels, mid to high income institutions, or direct purchase from our website, which is backed by the Buy One, Give One social mission. So, to launch ECHO, we are relying on a hybrid corporate structure, where our for-profit company, Ninetech, achieves its social mission through our nonprofit, the Ustawi Foundation. It's important to note that they are both separate entities with independent management and staff. The foundation serves as the underwriter of ECHO's annual fees for kids in underserved communities. Now, going further into ECHO's system, to the left shows how our nonprofit gets grants from private foundations, enabling it to purchase ECHO and freely distribute it to kids in underserved communities through their local childcare centers, and their parents are charged only a minimal insurance fee for the devices on which ECHO will be pre-installed. To the right are all the for-profit revenue streams of ECHO. We have the B2B2C through mid to high-income childcare centers, character merchandising, APL sales, and animation streaming. Now, due to all these activities and the global e-learning market, which is projected to have a TAM of $404 billion, and our focus of the US market giving us a SAM of $208 billion, and based on an estimated marketing budget of 10% of the funding we are trying to raise, and an estimated annual CAC of $33 per child, with a 40% annual reduction rate, we should have a sum of $33 million in the next 4 years. So to achieve this sum, Our marketing activities include making free learning content available on YouTube, having parents refer us to their kids' schools, using paid social media influencer promotion as well as unpaid independent review, and an initial 6 months digital marketing campaign with a focus on our buy one, give one social mission. We believe all of this will result in feel-good purchases of Echo with a conversion rate of 30% and an estimated annual churn of 10% based on our researched industry rates, and a lifetime value of $163.88 per child, making it highly successful. And our financial projection here reflects that, having the key assumptions that Echo's licensing fees being paid by our foundation accounts for 49% of our annual revenue. Then our social impact investment donation is 25% of our profit, not 1 million. And in order to break even in year one, we need to get 11,800 children. Furthermore, while Ninatech can be profitable without our charitable foundation, it increases our profit margin enormously along with our tax-deductible donations. This is because the nonprofit relies on private grants and its sole purpose is making Echo accessible to low-income communities. So far, we've been able to build our prototype and a patent pending. We succeeded in signing on 2 testing centers while in our idea phase in 2019. We now have 5 parents who have indicated interest in purchasing Echo once it launches, and we have 2 potential centers in mid to high income neighborhood also when it launches. As such, to fast-track the launch of Echo, we are seeking pre-seed funding of $500,000 in case debt, which will give us 24 months runway, and it converts to equity when we raise north of $2 million in our first seed round. So why invest in us? It's simple. My co-founder and I are siblings who are passionate about education with a vision that good education can be accessible to all. Between us, we have over 20 years of diverse professional experience and 4 master's degrees in tech and business. For our advisors, in addition to the Battery Investor Advisors, we also have 2 independent advisors with a combined 40 years domain experience in education and animation. And so we are confident in our ability to make Echo a success. And we are looking forward to having you all as investors in order to give kids like this a fighting chance at a better future. Thank you for sitting through our presentation, and I'm here to answer your questions.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here at Demo Day with us. I'm Greg Luthi, and I'm excited to introduce you to our next startup, Coupbond. Coupbond is a trading platform built to democratize corporate bond sales by fractionalizing such bonds through the blockchain. This is an exciting innovation to open a more secure asset class to investors who have previously been priced out of the market by steep bond prices. Founder Fernando Turrent has an exceptional team and background for this solution and has made great progress bringing the product forward through the course of the program. Please welcome Coupbond.
Hello, my name is Fernando Turrent. I am the co-founder and CEO of Coupbond. Our company is focused on providing fractional ownership of difficult-to-buy bonds to investors. And let me tell you why. Because investors are missing out. Let's take these AMC bonds. Now, I know that AMC is a very particular example, but bear with me. These bonds were trading in February 2021 at 38 cents on the dollar, providing a 31% yield on anyone who was willing to buy them. Now, fast forward 4 months later, and these same bonds were trading at 75 cents, providing a 100% return. Not to mention that all these bonds would later be converted to common equity, providing an even higher return, something that the stock just couldn't do. Now, independently of all this meme stock craze, yields are on the rise, making corporate bonds even more attractive, with some investment grades hitting 7% yields and some high yield bonds going over 17%. And that's because bonds provide a safe and predictable income. They have low correlations to stock. And just like my AMC case, they preserve and grow capital in ways that equity just can't. Now, the problem is that accredited and retail investors like you and I don't have access to bonds. Only people with over $10 million or institutional investors get full access. That is because bonds are expensive. Even though they trade in $1,000 pars, the minimum quantities are between 10 and 20, meaning you need between $10 and $20,000 to take a position on one single bond. There's poor market transparency. These things trade over the counter, so you really don't know what the price is. And finally, they have poor liquidity. Now, the solution is to provide investors with bonds that are less expensive, that are available to everyone, have a liquid market, and are easy to understand. And that's where we come in. Meet Coupond. Our platform is focused on providing accredited investors easy, simple, and secure access to the fixed income market. How do we do it? Well, first, we create Coupond tokens that are directly linked to the bond or fixed income instrument through the blockchain. Then we offer those coupons directly through our platform and through mid-sized wealth management firms such as Edward Jones and Santander. And finally, we just pay the quarterly coupon to our holders. Now, the coupon advantage is that we're safe. Unlike other DeFi platforms and tokens, our coupons are 100% backed by an actual asset. Number two, we're transparent. Every night we provide mark-to-market valuation, letting everyone know what we're holding and what's the value. And number three, we're fully compliant with SEC laws through an initial launch that will be done through Reg B. The number of accredited investors has substantially increased since 2020, when the SEC changed what it means to be an accredited investor. Since then, 4.9 million households holding $49 billion in assets that could go towards fixed income have joined the ranks of accredited investors. If we focus on just the corporate bond holdings that could go towards those investors, we get a SAM of $9.5 billion. By hyper-focusing on where we want to go with Coupon, we would just go into the spearhead of the most commonly traded bonds, giving us a sum of $105 million. Our plan to tackle this market is to fractionalize the face value of bonds in half and charging origination and transaction fees that are less than what you would get in an ETF. Based on our cost, we estimate a financial margin of between 70 to 80%. With this, we aim to get 10 wealth management firms in the first 12 months and have $1.5 million in revenue. We will aim to get over 200 firms in the next 4 years, totaling close to $100 million in revenue. While this is a large market, there are not a lot of direct competitors. We only currently have BondBlocks, who's based out of Singapore, who provides $1,000 bonds on 42 companies. Now, on the indirect side, we do have ETFs that provide some sort of exposure to bonds from companies such as Fidelity, BlackRock, and Vanguard. And we have retail brokers that, as I mentioned, can get you bonds for between $10,000 to $20,000. Those are Charles Schwab, Morgan Stanley, and Merrill Lynch. In terms of traction, to date, we have launched our beta website and have 10 accredited investors signed up ready for a launch. We have an initial campaign of bond education and are getting daily hits in the US. We have committed access to bonds from Fidelity, who will also be your custodian, and we're in conversation with some wealth management firms here in the Pacific Northwest and with a major broker-dealer in the East Coast. All of this has been delivered by the current two-person team comprised by Raul Bora and myself. Raul is my co-founder and CTO. He has over 5 years of experience in the field. He has a master's in computer science. He's worked in companies such as Nokia and Dell, where he's delivered enterprise-scale solutions that have been used by the U.S. Forest Service and many corporate clients, as well as myself, Fernando Trent. I have over 10 years of combined experience in finance and tech in companies such as Santander and Amazon, where I had the privilege of launching the multi-billion-dollar program known as Amazon Freight. As we move forward, we're continuing to review our initial bond requirements from clients. We are in conversations with wealth management firms and broker-dealers aiming to get MOUs, and we're starting to explore the FINRA brokerage application. We're currently raising a $500,000 convertible note with a 20% discount. This raise will help us reach phase 3 of our plan and reach our goal of over 200 clients in the next 12 months. In phase 1, we will be getting our broker-dealer license through FINRA. We will be paying some legal costs and hiring engineering and sales. Phase 2 is about product development and launching our wealth management platform, marketing through LinkedIn campaigns and paid ads, as well as meeting any regulatory capital requirements we might have. Phase 3 is the launch with wealth management firms and client acquisition. This is where we will be doing a lot of investment in our clients, making sure that they know what a bond is and how to trade them and all the different strategies. And final phase will be number 4, which is expansion. With that, I want to thank you very much for your time and open it up for any questions, and I'll see you in the meeting room. Thank you very much.
Hi, all. My name is Ed Douay, and I'm excited to introduce Tuo, an exceptional batch company that is quickly and effectively driving their innovative consumer credit platform forward. Tuo partners with credit unions to help build the credit score of their existing customers not having a credit history. The credit union is then able to offer these customers a broad range of financial products and loans. Tuo is not just a concept. They will launch with their first partner, Emprise, in the next several months. The team is 100% heads down, focused on their initial launch, but also have a strong strategy and roadmap for the future. Adam, the CEO of Tuo, is here to tell you more.
The Tuo team has created the easiest way to build credit for the 102+ million Americans and immigrants that have thin or no credit profile. We have no credit checks, no security deposits, no long-term commitments, and no hidden fees. And better yet, we created the first ever set it and forget it feature that allows customers to build credit on autopilot. Simply, we'll do the work, you get the credit. My name is Adam Fink, and I'm the founder and CEO of Tuo. We started this journey to help the millions of underbanked and underserved consumers like Dre, who are trying to make the best of their life, but are being bogged down by poor access to healthy credit products. You can see that Dre is about to graduate from college and wants to be able to purchase a vehicle to get to work and a condo to start building equity. But purely because he has not accessed credit in his past, he's being punished by an extremely high interest rate. By using just one credit product correctly over the past 6 months, Dre could have improved his credit score by 40 points and saved over $5,000 on a 60-month, $20,000 auto loan. But where is he supposed to start? A secured credit card that charges him interest to use his own money? Or even worse, a subprime credit card? Not anymore. The Tuo Credit Builder gives consumers like Dre the safe first step in their credit journey. We start with simple education as to how your credit score impacts how much you pay for financial services, and then securely connect your bank account to apply for the Credit Builder. Once approved, you're able to set up the industry's first autopilot feature that helps you build credit while you focus on the things that brighten your day. As we help you build credit, Tuo continues to collect the information needed to offer you healthy graduation credit products that you would otherwise be unable to obtain from other financial institutions. Tuo's entire vision is to utilize each consumer's specific cash flow data to offer the most innovative and affordable credit solutions to those who have been underserved. Let's take a quick look at how Tuo helps build credit through positive payment history and utilization. The Tuo Credit Builder is a simple $100 line of credit with no interest, no late fees, no NSF fees, and is the easiest way for consumers to build credit. The decisioning process takes seconds, and once approved, the customer has one simple choice. Use the Credit Builder manually as a standard line of credit, or they can activate autopilot and Tuo automate the money moves required to build positive payment history with the credit bureaus. The customer can go about their lives while Tuo automatically pushes $25 to their linked checking account on Monday and pulls back the same $25 on Wednesday. This movement of money allows Tuo to report positive utilization to the credit bureaus without ever having to lift a finger. Credit Builder users can then access the Credit Builder dashboard to check out their credit building progress, draw against their available credit limit, or even make a manual payment. All of this value is provided to the customer for a small $5 per month membership fee. Literally the easiest way to build credit. We view the US consumer credit market as our TAM. Given 2O's strategic roadmap has us moving into consumer credit solutions in 2023 as we utilize the cash flow database created by the Credit Builder to allow us to create new risk models for unsecured credit products. Our solutions are built to be white labeled to the 10,000+ US financial institutions, which is where we drive down to the $9.4 billion SAM and $941 million SOM. The SOM's 10% market share fits with our current poll studies with consulting firms that specialize in fintech solution sales to banks and credit unions. Within the market, 2O makes money from each partner institution through a simple SaaS pricing model. We charge a one-time $15,000 integration fee, we charge a per month $2,000 platform fee, and $2.50 per active user per month servicing fee. These price points will rise as we're able to verify our loan denial conversion assumptions and prove the added value to financial institutions. When you see that only one mortgage denial conversion can cover the entire cost of a 2O Credit Builder contract, there aren't many reasons not to partner with 2O. As we go to market, we'll utilize our current consultant relationships to scale our white label Credit Builder offering. From here, we'll use the data obtained from the Credit Builder to launch and validate our graduation risk models directly to 2O users. Once we've validated our graduation risk models, we'll then be able to go back to our current stable of white label Credit Builder users and license the new model, which will create significantly more revenue than the Credit Builder alone. There are a number of players in the credit building space, but 2O leads the pack when it comes to the credit impact and ease of use. We don't require a credit check, we don't require a security deposit, and we don't have a long-term commitment. Plus, there's only one player on that list white labeling their strategy to the financial institutions, and that's us. And that's where our consumers have already been onboarded. We are a team built of leading experts in consumer lending, neobanks, full stack development. I most recently was managing a $500 million consumer lending portfolio where I controlled 80% of the nation's debt settlement loans. My partners, George and Henry, are both highly skilled full stack developers with prior successful startup experience and years of collaboration at will.i.am of the Black Eyed Peas AI startup, IAM Plus. Outside of our direct team, our strategy and value propositions are being validated by some of the most successful and knowledgeable advisors in the industry. Our advisors are directly invested in the future success of 2O and our long-term strategic objectives. Revenue forecasts currently show a consistent growth trend, but only account for Credit Builder revenue and not the graduation credit solutions and direct consumer strategies that will realize significantly more revenue opportunity in 2023 and on. 2O has seen amazing traction to date and is poised for a remarkable remainder of 2022. We are currently testing our Credit Builder with our first institutional banking partner, Emprise Bank, and are working through a custom product for a Rocket Mortgage branded Credit Builder. Additionally, 2O has a strong list of affiliate partnerships that we will utilize in the development of our future direct-to-consumer credit offerings. 2O is now raising $750,000 via SAFE with 80% discount and $7 million valuation cap for the first $250,000 in committed funds, and an 80% discount and $9.5 million valuation cap for any investments beyond the first $250,000. 2O is ready to run, and that is why we're offering such a great deal to the first movers. We currently have $45,000 in committed funds, which leaves room for you to still get the best terms available. Funds will be used to scale across our first institutional partner and 10 additional financial institutions through February 2023. We have previously raised $310,000 at a $4.41 million post-money valuation. From the entire team at 2O, I thank you for your time. Please stop by our booth after all of the demos to ask any questions and learn how you can invest today. Thank you. Talk soon.
Hi, everyone. I'm Peter Burkhardt, the Executive Director at The Battery, and it is my job to close out our Demo Day program today. Thanks to all the startups and the IAs who have put in the hard work to make today happen. Our live stream is over, but we have a bunch of cool stuff queued up. First, thanks and congratulations to our Batch 14 startups. These 3 months have flown by, and the Battery community is very proud of how far you've come and what you've accomplished. Thanks for all of your hard work and dedication. I also want to thank our investor advisors who have made themselves available to the startups, putting in the hours to help our portfolio mature and progress through the course of the program. It's a team effort with all 37 of our investor advisors, And in particular, I want to give a shout out to Dave Nagel, Josh Langenthal, and Andre Carruthers, who have run our core curriculum, the Deep Dive program. Thanks also goes to my colleague Meryl, who you met earlier and is my right-hand person behind the scenes. And a big thanks goes to you, our attendees. If you're interested in being connected privately with any of the startups who pitched today, please indicate this on our interest form below, shoot them a DM, or connect with them in the rooms. You can also let us know if you're interested in becoming a part of our community via the same form. We are just about to open up our startup rooms now. From our homepage in Philo, you can click on any room and enter that particular startup's room. From there, you can have a Zoom discussion, peruse the materials, and get connected with our startups. Thanks again. If you have any questions, shoot me a DM here or reach out to me at peter@batchery.com. We hope you hang out and meet our founders, but most of all, thanks for being a part of our program today. We really appreciate it.